In this video, I'm going to talk about the number one reason that most businesses don't grow in a recession and what you can do with your business to go against that trend. Okay, so let's state the obvious reason first. The reason most companies don't grow during a recession is because generally there's less money circulating in the economy. Your clients have less money to spend, and so they aren't spending as much every month with your business. Okay, that was obvious, but do you want to know what most businesses are doing wrong that just increases the effect of those customers not spending? The reason you don't grow during a recession is because you're sitting around waiting for the customer to come to you. But if the customer has no money, they aren't going to come to you. You'll be sitting around waiting forever. And don't think the answer is just to go pestering them or trying to poach your competitors' customers. That's just a lazy way. A recession is a time when you have to use your brain, and by going to poach customers, that isn't a brainy thing to do, because you're just creating an enemy that will probably start targeting your customers. So what do? If you can't go pestering your customers, you can't steal other people's customers, and your customers have no money. You have to shift your mindset. You have to shift your way of thinking to the end result. What is the end result that they're looking for? What do they need? If they had money, what would they pay for you to do? What would they buy from your business? Now you have to think of a way for them to get that thing now, rather than having to wait 3 years until they have that money again. And by the way, if you get this right, you won't need to worry about your competitors, because you'll create your very own niche of what you do. You probably won't have any direct competitors anymore. I want to talk about an example that we used in one of our own businesses. So in our contracting business, we had a lot of clients with commercial buildings, hotels, offices, care homes, schools, etc. In one of these customer buildings, they wanted to replace all of their light fittings. So we calculated the cost, and I think it was somewhere around 50,000, let's say, to replace all of their lighting. Now, the reason they wanted to upgrade all of this lighting is because they just bought the building from someone else a few months earlier, and the building had never been maintained. So the light fittings were all about 20 years old, and every week they were getting light fittings that would basically go faulty, and the insides of them would melt, and then that would trip the fuse, and the rest of the lights would go out. So then they'd have to pay us to come out and fix it as an emergency call out. So there was lots of disruption for the staff and for the business overall. There was even one occasion where a light fitting caught fire, and the fire brigade were called to put the fire out. Luckily, it was only small and didn't do any damage. So because of all this happening, this is why they'd asked us how much it would cost. So the cost was somewhere around 50,000, and they didn't have the budget. So under normal circumstances, you'd just forget about it and wait until they had that money. But instead of doing that, we decided to offer the upgrade as part of a 5-year maintenance contract. So we did the upgrade, but we spread the cost of that upgrade equally across 60 months. Now, this meant we created work for ourselves during a time that other firms were struggling. But we also increased our profit margins as well, because we added the cost of financing that work, making an extra 30% profit after that finance cost was paid for. Not only that, but we were also tied into that customer for 5 years, meaning they come to us for other services within that building. But from the customer's point of view, they were getting what they needed, but they were also saving money, having to pay for emergency call-outs and all of that staff disruption every time a light fitting went faulty. So to do this in your own business, you have to ask the questions. What is the end result for the customer? What would they buy if they had the money? And how can I help them get that now rather than wait 2 years? So that's it for this video. Hopefully you found it interesting, and perhaps you can use these same strategies in your own business. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, I've recorded over 300 videos in my playlist talking about lots of different subjects like this. So if you've not seen that, go and watch that now. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and click the bell icon to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.